Hey everybody, this is Niclas Huschenbeth and this is a Blindfold Blitz live stream. So I just spontaneously decided to play some Blindfold because I really enjoyed doing that during my subscriber special just 2 days ago. So I'm just on Chess24 and now I'll challenge somebody and we'll do 5 minutes and I'll put my range all the way up and let's see if I get somebody, and it's gonna be funny because they won't know that I'm playing blindfold. And we have our first opponent, Stefan Leis from Germany, and I'm white, so I'll play e4 and I'll just check if this is looking good. So what you see above is, oh, okay, this is not good. Actually I want to switch it, so the big board is where it's showing the pieces. Okay, first I gotta play this game. Actually, I switched it. Actually, the big board should show the pieces, right? But now it's actually showing what I'm seeing. So I have to think about how I can change that, or if I can change it at all. So Stefan Leis is playing the French. Yeah, that's unfortunate. That happens when you do a spontaneous live stream. He's already taking a think in the second move. That's slightly surprising, but we'll see what he's up to. He's just taking a thing in the second move. What can he say? I don't know what's going on. I mean, it's kind of weird. I think I'll try to change. Let me try to change it right now, in fact. Can I do that? Let me just try and see what happens. I mean, because Stefan Leis is not moving anyway. I can just move some stuff around here. Oh, now he moved. Let me put this over here. Okay, now the design looks a little bit awful and the time is pretty small. That's unfortunate. But let's get back to the game. And maybe I'll think about later what else I can do without taking too long. He plays h6. I don't know much about this line. I think there's some kind of point to it. I'll just play bishop d3. b6. Play some interesting moves here. Just plays pawn moves the whole time. Bishop a6. I'm kind of tempted to just go c4. Let's see what happens. I know probably I could just take, but I like c4. I don't know if it makes a lot of sense, but why not? He could take, d takes c4, knight takes c4. But he plays knight f6. Okay, e5 should be the typical response here. Maybe now he should take on c4 to get the square for his knight. That could actually be a smart decision, because otherwise I'll maybe just play b3 and support my pawn. Yeah, that's what he does. I think that's a good choice. He takes again. Okay, knight d5, and well, I castle. That can't be too wrong. Bishop e7. Yeah, I think it makes sense to bring my bishop back to d3, and if he castles, I'm gonna try and immediately play bishop b1 and queen d3. Very simple, but because he has weakened himself with h6, he has some difficulties to defend against queen d3. I mean, it might be too simplistic, but I might as well just try it. And he doesn't care. Why doesn't he care? He wants to go f5. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, I'll take this. Takes with the knight. He has protected against this mate, but he has a weak pawn on e6. And of course his square on g6 is also weak. So I might be able to play something like knight e5, knight g6, something along these lines. Actually, bishop takes h6. Oh, bishop takes h6. That's gotta be strong. Yeah, that's gotta be strong. G takes queen g6, queen takes h6, and then just bring the rook e5, and that's gotta be crushing. And that's what I was talking about, because if he hadn't played h6, he could just play g6. But because he has played h6, he has a problem there. Knight g4? Are you kidding me? Okay, and he resigned. Alright. So this went well. If we go back a little bit, well, I can't really see much, so. But I think he had to react better to this bishop b1, but maybe it's not easy. I don't really see an easy way. He could play something like h5 after maybe h5, and now queen d3, g6. But also this is just, his king's really weak, so not easy. Do I want to keep it like this? The time is kind of let me just modify it a little bit, and I think we can work with it then. So I'll just modify it real quick, and then we can continue, because I don't want to start a live stream all over again. Obviously that wouldn't be too awesome. So let me do this real quick. We get the time out of this board, and then I'll put the time in the other one. Just improvising real quick here. Okay, so I'll make this a little bit bigger. There we go. Now we just need the time, because that's kind of important. So let me just get this real quick, and then I can continue with the next game. There we have the time. There we go. Beautiful. That looks much better. So let's get to the next game. I even had a challenge a moment ago, but the challenge is gone now, so I just got a challenge regularly again. And we have our next opponent already. It's Edgar Abandonov from Argentina. And I think now everything's looking good. So let's see. Am I white? No, I'm black. So I'm waiting for his first move. And it's c4. And I'll play c5. Knight c3, knight c6. It's pretty easy. Just copy your opponent. e3. e3. Yeah, I think knight f6 is the way to go. And he can now transpose to the Panov attack, which he is doing. Now play d5 and bishop g5, and it's unusual because his knight is still on g1, so I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. I guess I'll just play how I would usually play bishop e6. I could have taken on c4 too. No, knight f3. I think now we transpose, and I think g6 is a nice way to go here, but I might also just confuse something terribly and be lost in a moment. I don't know. But doesn't quite look like that. So he plays really, I guess, unambitiously. Bishop e2, castle, castle, and I'll play f5. Try to put some pressure on this pawn on d4. Is this all looking good? Yeah. Put some pressure on this pawn on d4, and I think it's pretty easy to play. In fact, I could take on f3, take on d4, but then he takes on b7, so I'll just go f5. And, if he wants to, you can take, of course, on d5, but it really only helps my queen to get into action and puts more pressure on the pawn on d4. That's very easy to play, as you can see, probably. So okay, he took. That's fine. He can play rook c5, plays bishop c4. I'll drop back with the queen to d6. Now this pawn is attacked by a knight, bishop, and queen, and his knight... Oh, he plays d5. I guess that's possible. But now the pawn is blocked nicely. And I think... I first thought knight e5 would be good. But let's play knight a5 instead. I thought knight e5, knight takes e5, bishop takes e5, hitting both this pawn on h2 and this pawn b2. But he just plays h3 or g3 maybe, and then if I take him b2, he plays rook b1. And in the end, this pawn on b7 is hanging. So, it doesn't quite work, unfortunately. But knight a5 also looks absolutely reasonable here. I didn't really have the great square for a knight, but this works. He plays b3, protects the pawn. I guess I'll just take on c4 now. Probably take with the pawn, yes, and put my rook on e8. I think it's quite a comfortable position. Put the rook on e4. Maybe I have to watch out for c5. Could be I'd have to watch out for c5. Yeah, maybe it is necessary for me to play b6. I don't like c5, so I'll play b6, even though it gives up the square on c6. But that's okay, because he can't get there right now. He can't get to c6, because the square on d4 is covered by my rook and my bishop. So I think that works out. Knight g5. Interesting. Play the rook back to e7. I could have also played to e8, but I don't know, somehow I liked e7 better. But knight g5 was an interesting move here. So he takes on e7, I take back, hit his knight, and he goes back to f3, threatening rook e1, so I'll play rook e8. Now I'll probably make some space, g3, yeah, that makes sense. Now I have to watch out for rook e1, so I have to move my queen. Go to c5, I guess. I'm definitely better here, but not that much. Because my double pawn plays rook e1, but I don't want to exchange this pair of rooks, so I play rook c8, put some pressure on c4. But I first need some space for my king, otherwise rook e8 might be annoying. Yeah, I'm not threatening queen takes c4 right now, because probably rook e8 would be a pain. Even though I'm not sure how much of a pain, but kind of a pain. So people in the chat asking if I'm only able to see the blank screen. Yes, that's correct. Otherwise, it wouldn't be blindfold. Okay, defender with knight d2. I think bishop h6 makes a lot of sense here to hit the knight on d2. Yeah, so you just gotta believe me there, only see the blank screen, really, because you have no way of verifying it. But the way it works is I have two browsers open. Okay, place this. I think I'm just gonna put queen d4. I have two browsers open. One is behind this browser, so I can't see it. So I'm so now I don't want to take because of rook e8 and queen b2. Whatever. Let's just do it. I think I can play king g7 and queen b2 have queen c3. It's really risky, but I was hoping it works. Yeah, queen c3 takes. I hope this pawn is not running through, but I think d6, I have rook d3, or rook takes f3. I'll just take this one. And bishop g5, I think he missed probably. Yeah, now I'm up 2 pawns, right? 2 pawns here, his pawn is on a2, so I'll play rook a3. Okay, and I should somehow convert this. I'm also up on time, so it helps. Okay, probably f4 is a smart move. Oh, no, I'll even play f3, why not? Okay, king f5. This should be really good for me, and I should convert this g4. That's interesting. Oh, I don't have a pawn on h. Oops. I thought I had a pawn on h5 already, but I didn't. My bad. My bad. Yeah, how do I actually win this? Okay, let's play f5. Place like this, okay. I think I'm just gonna I mean, I don't really know what to do here, so I'm probably just gonna flag him. That seems to be the most reasonable approach, even though not that easy in fact. Yeah, whatever. I'm just gonna flag him. I mean, I'm really too lazy to figure this out here. Okay, flagged him finally. He offers a rematch, but I think I'm gonna play somebody else. Yeah. Probably I should have just advanced my pawns on the queen side a little bit and then figure it out from there, but it's fine. I wonder though, I mean, this whole variation where, let's see if I can find it. He plays queen b2, or he plays rook e8. Maybe he can take on c4 here and play d6. And now rook c8 would run to d7 and followed by rook e8. So it could be that I'm lost here actually. Yeah, I don't see a defense. I don't see a way to cope with this, because g5 is also covered by his knight, and there's nothing I can do against d7 and d8. Let me just verify. Let me see the board. Oh, you guys can see it. Oh, my bad. Oh, I just realized that now you see the blind board. Okay, so analysis is not really helpful. Okay, that's good to know. Certainly. Okay, then let's just move on and don't care too much about the analysis and play another game. And in the meantime, let me check the chat. GM LazyBeth, yeah, that's who I am. Now I have a really strong opponent, so I'll probably just get completely crushed. But that's fine. I don't mind. It would be funny if I beat him. That would be like, I beat you blindfold, son. That would be hilarious. So I'll try my best to beat him, but I cannot promise anything here, obviously. After all, this guy is 2500. In my live stream, I lost against people with 2500, right? In my subscriber live stream. So Yeah. Alright, so I looked at this variation lately. What was I looking at actually? It's so funny, you look at it in depth and then you don't even know the first moves. I guess knight e7 and then castle. Yeah, that's probably how it goes. Yeah, that's the variation I looked at, yeah, I'm pretty sure. Gosh. Bishop d3. Knight c6. Knight f3. Queen c7. Right? He castles? What is that? Okay, that means... Okay, I'll just play c4. But I think if he castles, that can't be critical in any way. Wait, or am I just blundering stuff here? Is he just gonna mate me now? Oh, I should've... Gosh, that's pretty embarrassing. Just plays knight g5 and it's gonna mate me? So I should've played knight g6 way earlier, right? Yeah. So that's why you play knight g6, I guess. So he could have done that before too. Yeah, man, he's just mating me here. Yeah, that's pretty embarrassing. Well, I'm not made yet. I'm not mated yet. He could have taken on f7, I don't know. I feel like that might have been better. I mean, this position generally should be winning for him, but maybe he messed up a little bit. I mean, I'm still in the game after all, which is surprising. Okay, now he's threatening bishop g5. Maybe I'm not in the game. Maybe it's just hopeless. Okay, I'll just keep running because I don't know what else to do. So you can take on f7 and I'll play knight c7. Plays knight f6. I can take this. Oh, that's well played. Well played, sir. That's well done. I have to say that's good chess. Now he takes with the pawn, and yeah. It's a slight problem. Slight problem. And I'm down a few pawns, but yeah, do I still want to play on, or what is his position actually? Well. Oh well. Oh well. Okay, let's just play a few more moves before I resign. Plays f4. Yeah, I mean, it's just very sad. And there's nothing I can do really. That's the main problem. I might just take on e7. Plays f6. He's really enjoying himself here. Okay, let's play for stupid tricks. Queen takes h2. Oh no, there's not even queen takes h2 because I still have my pawn on e5. Oh, e8 queen. Oops. Oh, that was painful, to say the least. Let me just look at this real quick, with pieces on the board. So, just for me to get this right the next time, bishop d3, I have to... Probably here I have to play knight g6, of course. Yeah, so I mean, he missed a 2-for-1 move, and then I provoked it even by playing c4. So that wasn't very great. Okay, let's keep moving. Okay, not. I could also just hide my pieces, but that I feel like that would be pretty confusing. Okay. So far I've won 2 games and lost 1. That's okay. And we have the same opponent again. I'll try again. Monsieur Picsou from France. I don't care about my rating at this point. I mean, it's so low. Who cares, really? Like, who cares? Okay, and we have the Sicilian. And takes on d4, and what is he gonna play? Kalashnikov? No. Sveshnikov? Classical? No, not the classical either. He plays the 4 knights variation. Okay, we can play that. It's pretty boring, to be honest. Oh, now he transposes. Never mind, he was tricking me. He transposes to the Sveshnikov variation. And for everybody just joining later or who wonders, the board above me is the one I'm seeing, which also explains my last terrible loss. At least that's the excuse I'm having. Bishop e7. I think I had this in a game actually. Shouldn't be knight c4 the right way to go here? I feel like it should be. Okay. He doesn't care. Okay, I guess I'll just take an f6 and play knight d5. He took with the bishop, right? I maybe shouldn't do pre-moves because then it's difficult to see what he did, but I think he took with the bishop. Okay, I go to e3. Yeah, maybe I didn't play it absolutely right, but whatever. Just finish my development. Yeah, this is kind of just the setup you don't want to end up with, I guess. Actually might still be a tiny bit better, unless he gets d5 in. Queen h4. Okay, he's hitting e4, so I move knight d5. f5. Okay. Okay, I take. He takes. I think I should castle, finally. Bishop e6, knight c7 is just winning, right? Oh, there's still bishop g4. He's lucky. He is lucky indeed. Ah, man. Wait, there's no bishop g4, f3. Ah, but then rook c8. Still, I mean, that's what I gotta play, right? It's gotta be what I gotta play here. Oh, bishop c4, there's 2. Oh. Oh well. Oh well, and that's turning it around completely. Because then he plays rook c8, and then I'm screwed. Shit. Shit, shit, shit. He tricked me there. Ah, man. Do I have any way out of this hell? Well, I'll just play queen d2, I guess. Maybe it's not too bad if I take on d6. I'm still playing at least. Okay, he takes on f1, but I should have some compensation. I'm also queen d8. Wow, what a move. Yeah, this guy is definitely too strong for a blindfold game here. Damn, that's a move. Wow. Yeah, really impressive move here. Yeah, that's pretty much killing me. Because my knight is trapped. So I guess I'll just play like this. Oh no, he just takes with the queen on c7 even. That's even more precise. Yeah, this guy's pretty good. And too good for me to play him blindfold, that's for sure. So I have a challenge here. I assume it's somebody who's watching the stream, so as a reward for you watching my stream, I think it is only appropriate that we play a game. Agent GL YouTube. Yeah, that's actually I see who's in the chat here and putting most comments. Yeah, let's play. All right. Okay. Here, what do? I think I take on c6, right? He says, "Come at me, Huschenbeth." I'll do what I can to eventually win a game again after my 2 crushing losses in the last 2 games. That would be actually nice. So what is this? I think here I can play e5. Might be even the main line, not sure. And then play queen g4. Now he can't castle because of bishop h6. So I think king f8 is the move here, but also g6 might be possible. He plays g6 and I think bishop h6 makes sense not to stop him from castling. I think the line goes like rook b8, knight d1 and then c4 or something like that. Not sure, I don't know why that makes sense either, but okay, I don't know this move. But I feel like taking makes a lot of sense. He has to take with the knight unless he wants to ruin his castling right. Unless he wants to lose it rather, I should say, not ruin it. Yeah, and also his dark squares are pretty weak now, but it's not gonna be easy for me to get at him. He takes with the king, it makes sense, he wants to put the king on g7, I assume. And I'll play okay, that's funny. So it seems my opponent is listening and commenting on my comments here in the chat. He's saying my speculation is bad and that king g7 is better than castling. Okay, I'm so sorry, Agent JL YouTube, that I misevaluated the position. Okay, he plays rook b8. And now that I know that he's listening, I might not tell too much about my plans. So for now, I'll just protect this pawn. And then we'll see. We'll see what'll come up next. I think it's also pretty difficult for him to do anything sensible here. He's probably just waiting for me to tell him what to do. Rook b4. Maybe wants to bring his rook to g4. I don't know. Oh, he's hitting the pawn on h4. Is that right? Looks like. Looks like he's hitting this pawn, so I think I gotta defend it. And the only way is to play f4, even though that's not really a move I wanted to play that badly. But it seems like I didn't have a choice, really. Oh, I could have gone queen g5, but that's also, I didn't want to do that either. My opponent's saying that I was ruining his genius plan. Yeah, even though I'm playing blindfold, I still see something. No pun intended. That was quite a silly joke. Yeah, no, I might just play a3, something like that. Rook g8. I don't know what he's up to with rook g8. I'll just play a3. And improve my position slowly. I mean, positionally I should be better. I'm pretty sure I'm better. I mean, he's pretty weak on the dark squares. And he's not having a lot of play. I'm better on the clock too, so probably it comes down to me just flagging him here. So I'll play 92. I do have a plan now, but I won't say what it is, so he doesn't know. But I don't think there's anything you can do about it anyway. So I could also say it, but nah. I want to leave him in the dark. F5, really? Really? I mean, this can't be going well. I don't believe that. I mean, now his king is open and this pawn on e6 is weak. Queen e3 would drop this pawn on h4, but maybe I just don't care. Maybe I just don't care at this point. Because it's just, I'm just gonna try to open a position and crush his king. So he can have the pawn, but also I'm just gonna win on time. Because he's too busy texting me here or chatting with me. So, yeah. Don't chat too much. Better play some chess, Agent JL YouTube. But let's be real, his position is also pretty difficult to play. Knight c5. I think this one c6 is hanging, so I'll take it. King g7? What? This is just hanging everything. I mean, the rook on b8, the knight on c5. I don't even know what to take here. I guess I'll just take this. Queen takes f4. Is he threatening anything? I don't think so, but I'll just play rook f1 to hit his queen. Queen c7. And now I think I can just give a check here, right? Because his king is here. Yeah, now knight e5. I could also take the rook. Let's grab the rook. No harm in that. Take this one, give a check. Oh, he plays quick now, but it's not gonna save him because he's just down too much material at this point. Queen b6, that's a check. I'll just go out of the way. Bishop e6, I'll take on g7, take on e5. I still have a pawn on g5, right? Yeah. Okay, give a check here, give a check here, and checkmate. There we go. And I didn't win on time. I won on position. All right. So I have another challenge from Baltimore. I guess I'll accept that challenge too. Baltimore. Alright, Baltimore, let's go. Wait, there we go. C5. Enough French for today, maybe. We'll see. We'll see if I'll play it again later. I'm actually tired of the Knight of a little bit. I've played it for so long and so many Blitz games. So I think I'm gonna play some more French in the future. F3, Queen C7. This Knight BD7 line is not really serious, just for Blitz games really. I've played in serious games too, but it's a little bit sketchy. But I think the way he's playing it right now, I think it works out pretty well for me. So the point is that you keep the pawn still on e7, so you can play e5 maybe in one move if you need to. And he allowed me to play the knight to b6 after I played b5. So that's actually why I should play g4 before he plays queen d2. So if my pawn, I don't get this setup with the knights on b6 and d7 and the pawn on b5. Because now it works out pretty nicely. I can maybe play knight e5, knight c4, something like this. And that worked. Knight e5. Is he gonna play b3? I don't know. Maybe I'll just play bishop b7. King b1. And now knight e5 should be a decent move. I really hope I'm not blundering anything here if knight takes b5, but I don't think so. I can just take twice, play queen d8. Yeah, knight c4 is annoying. b3, I play rook c8. I guess you could do that, but yeah. Probably have to be careful here because he might be also listening in the back. So I don't wanna spoiler any moves. So I'm not saying what I think his best move is here. Okay, king b2. I was actually thinking knight c2. Okay, let's go b4. Let's see where he puts that knight. What? Why is this working? Why didn't... I mean, he could have gone to b1. I think that's what he should have done. He couldn't go to e2 because of knight c4. But this... I guess he gets 3 pawns, so maybe that's why he's doing it. But actually, does he get 3 pawns if I play queen c6? Okay, I'll just go back to d8. Queen takes b4. Yeah, this is rather complicated. Probably a good practical choice by him to play like this. f4. I think I can take on e4. Is that right? I mean, I don't want to mess up here, but I'll take on e4. And I think I'm threatening rook takes c2. As well as, of course, as hitting his rook on h1. But I'd rather take the queen. But like my whole king side is undeveloped, and that's a slight problem. Yeah, a slight problem. Let me try to close this with d5. But Baltimore's a fairly good player, I feel like. I mean, he's giving me a tough time here. He definitely has compensation because I'm so underdeveloped. Like all these pieces, my bishop and my rook, they need to get into play. But on the other hand, yeah, I mean, I'm up material, right? I have queen against rook and piece. Takes on b6. Okay, that's surprising, I think. He wants to take on d5, but it doesn't work. Or it might work, actually. I was thinking queen c6. Okay, now I don't believe in his chances anymore. I think he needed to take on d5. Because queen c6 he can just move. And I can't take on d5 because of knight c7. But here... yeah, I mean, but nothing's going on here, I feel like, with knight c7. I can even play bishop c5, actually. Yeah, that's a good move. So I don't even allow knight c7. So now I'll finish my development, I castle, and I'm good. Okay, knight d6, but this doesn't really help him. Oh, maybe it does. I overlooked this move. Shoot. So I should have just moved my king instead. Yeah, these intermediate moves, they're a little bit tricky, but I'm actually, it's not too bad that I overlooked, because I think I'm just completely winning now. His king is on b2, so I'll just check him with bishop takes e5, and this will put him in huge trouble. And he says oops, so it seems to me that he's not too happy with his position. Yeah, there should be a mate here pretty soon. Let me be precise. Queen d4 or f2? Queen d4 is probably better, because I have also the threat queen e4 if I need to. Oh, he still has rook e8. I didn't see that. God damn it. It's so annoying. King e7, rook e8, king d6, rook d8, king c5, rook c1, king takes b5, rook b8. Oh man, this is getting a little bit too complicated for my taste. I think this works. I'll just go to b7 and bishop c6, king b6, and this square is covered by my queen. So Oh, by my bishop. By my bishop, rather. I'm sorry. By my bishop. Yeah. But this was trickier than I wanted it to be. Okay, now it's over. Okay. Yeah, tough game by Baltimore. He really put up a good fight, and only managed to win in the end. Okay, let me just challenge normally again, and I'll play somebody. No, I really don't feel like playing Monsieur Bixu again. I mean, it was nice playing with him, but I don't feel like losing against him again. So let's see if anybody else is out there. And in the meantime, I'll check the chat. Agent JL, we already played, so I'm not gonna play with you again. Okay, so I have a new opponent. I have Dimitri Tirompi from Paraguay. Okay, let's see what Dimitri is up to. And the same opening as Monsieur Pixu, but now he's playing the Accelerate Dragon. Which is slightly better for white, really solid. And it's funny that he's thinking here, because I mean, except for knight f6, there's really not much to play here in this position. Okay, he plays knight f6 finally. Castle, bishop e2. That's pretty normal stuff here. Castle, bishop d7. I think f3 is the way to go here. I have to take another look at this. Now there's some crazy lines with queen b6, but he doesn't go for that. a5, yeah. a3. Now he has to play a4. Well, or not. Then I'll play b4. He has to play a4 to prevent b4 from happening. I think the line goes like c5. And I actually played at least one game in this line. It's a tiny bit better, but not that much. So he doesn't even take on b4. Did I see it correct? No, he didn't take on b4. He's threatening to take on c4 now. So I think I have to play knight d5, but that's okay. I don't really mind that much. He probably is gonna take, but I'm not sure. Oh, he takes with the knight. In this case, how do I take back? Probably with the e pawn, right? Yeah. Take back with the e pawn. Can take on d4 if he wants to. Takes on d4. And I'm able to play c5, so I think it's fairly decent for me, this position. Should I go c5 straight away here? Yeah, why not, right? Why not go c5 straight away? Takes on b4 finally. Probably gonna take on c5 too. Now he goes e6. Is he for real? I mean, g4 is almost winning a piece immediately. I think g4 is gonna win a piece. Because bishop c2, I just play queen c3 and he has no way to go. Oh, he wants to play e5. No, he probably didn't want to go e5 because I can just take this. At least he's saving his bishop, but really? Go back to d7 now? Oh. Oops. I knew something was wrong here. Yeah, that's those embarrassing moments when you play blindfold and you've been playing for a while and then you blunder your queen on one. My opponent probably thinks I'm completely nuts now. Yeah, who cares? Okay, so he still had his pawn on d6 because he never took on c5. Just slipped my mind. Ha! So that also makes sense why he played e6, because I couldn't play d6. Let me switch on the board so you guys can see it. That was probably hilarious. Anyways. Yeah, so now it makes more sense. Even though I could still take on e6, but then you probably want to take on c5. But so maybe g4 was fine, but of course I shouldn't take on e5 here. Not quite necessarily. Maybe it's something like this. He goes to d7. And yeah, I'm in quite a good spot here. I might be able to take on d6, but not sure if I really want to. But he has like difficulties to... I could play bishop e8, but no, his pawn e5 is hanging. Yeah, but also if I just play... I don't know, rook fc1, I think I'm certainly better here. Okay. Okay, I think I'm gonna play one more game and then I'll call it a day. Against Justin Liang. Who probably just signed up right now and now is gonna crush me because it seems like he has no games. Oh, nah. He tricked me. This guy tricked me. He just made a new account with a different name. So it's Agent JL YouTube again. He just made a new account. And I fell right into the trap. So I was pretty much right with the assumption that this guy has not played on here before. But yeah, I didn't realize that's why. Well, you succeeded. Happy birthday. Okay, so we have a Benoni here. And it's not good for white to play e4, but I have to prove it somehow. Yeah, usually people don't play e4. So I gotta show why that is. I'll just put my rook on e8 for now. And f4. I feel like that's way too straightforward, but maybe it's gonna be successful, I don't know. I gotta put some pressure on this pawn, so I'll play c4. So I can play knight c5. And hit this pawn on e4. Also, there's some squares for my knight available on d3 and b3. So some targets for my pieces. He plays bishop e3. That makes sense. But knight g4 I would like to play, but then he plays bishop d4 probably. How do I go from here? Maybe just a quiet move like queen c7. Yeah, I like queen c7, just preparing knight c5. And there's nothing he can do. Nothing. And even if he could do something, I wouldn't tell him because I know he's still listening. Bishop d4. Okay, I'll just carry out my initial plan for knight c5. Okay, now it's getting a little tactical, but I think I should be in good shape here with knight g4. And his position should fall apart. So he took on d6, he takes on g7. I could play knight e3 maybe here. And he's begging me to play knight e3, which probably means I'm overlooking something, but or he was so afraid that he was bluffing. So I'll go knight e3, queen d4, and now I'll go what do I do now? Knight e3, knight b3 maybe? But then bishop e5. Okay, let's go knight b3. And now he's listening, so I'm not gonna shout out any variations here. Queen f6. Interesting. A little bit afraid of bishop h6, but I think I can play queen c5 for now. Man, I'm a little bit low on time. But I think my position is fairly good. But it's super complicated, and playing blindfold is not really helping. But, so both his rooks are hanging, and I'm threatening knight g4 obviously to win his queen. So he has to cope with all these threats. And he can't attack my queen in any way. Knight e4 would just take with my rook. So yeah, not easy for him to find a move. King h1 is the only move, and what was he taking so long? And now I just take his rook. I'll just take his rook. He takes back, and now I go knight Oh. That's unfortunate. I want to go knight g4, but then he plays queen d4. But I think knight f5 is a good move, because his bishop doesn't have a place to go. Well, I guess it has one place to go on h8. Fuck. Position is too difficult and I don't have any time, so he's just gonna win here. That's unfortunate, but nothing I can do about it. Ah, come on. Oh, he already took? What? Where's my rook? Fuck. Where was my rook? Very sad, of course. Yeah, congratulations, you got 49 points. You should get 1,000 points. Yeah, right. 1,000 points from winning against me. Let me see. That was a really interesting game, though, and it was well played by Mr. Justin Leung. Oh, I still had a pawn on c4. That's why I can't take the rook on c1. Completely forgot about my pawn on c4. That was interesting. So here... Okay, so I didn't have to take on... I didn't have to play knight e3, but it looked really interesting. So if I take... Yeah, I'm probably just in a good place here. Knight e3 is still in the air and I'm just much better here. Or king g8. But knight e3 looked so tempting. And maybe it doesn't work finally. I mean, it all looks good. But then, yeah, I was counting on knight g4 here, and I only saw queen d4 too late. So maybe, yeah, of course, I need to play knight g4 first. Yeah, knight g4 is the winning move here, and it's so easy when you see the board, because his queen doesn't have a good place to go. Now d4 is still covered, and I can even just take the bishop on g7 here, and all these threats are still there. Knight takes a1 and knight f2. Yeah, and I should take the bishop here, because if I take on a1 he plays bishop d4. So knight g4 was the winning move. But I missed it. Alright. And I said this is gonna be my last game. I'm gonna stick to it, even though it sucks that I lost. and he tricked me, but it was still a decent game by him, so well deserved. Justin. And I guess I hope you guys enjoyed this stream, and I'll see you again some other time. Bye.